Sequencing risk is not isolated to those who are about to retire. Whenever cash flow, either adding or withdrawing from your investments, is introduced in your portfolio, you open yourself up to the risks in the sequence of returns. So here to tell us more is Chief Investment Officer of PSG Wealth, Adriaan Pask. Adriaan, what exactly is sequencing risk?
So I'm going to try and explain this in two parts. Firstly, with the investment without any cash flows, and then secondly with the investment that has cash flows. So say for example we use year one and we start with a 10% return in both cases. In year two, the first case would assume a 30% loss, where in the second case a 73% gain. In year three, we would see on the first investment a 73% gain, and on the other side a 30% loss. So essentially with the two examples, they had the same returns but just shuffled around depending on the different years. As you can see, as there's no cash flow involved in this particular investment, it doesn't really materially impact the future value of your investment at all. In both cases, the future value of that investment after a term of 3 years was 1.331 million rand. Let's look at an example that looks at cash flow specifically. On both examples, I've assumed that there's 100,000 rand being added after year one, and 100,000 rand again being withdrawn from those investments in year two. The key principle behind it is the one would have a greater future value than the other, because essentially you had a larger amount of capital working for you over a prolonged period of time, where the lack of capital or reduced value of the capital in the investment that suffered an initial loss had less capital working for you over that period, which is why there's roughly 100,000 rand loss in the value, which is an opportunity cost.
When will sequencing risk impact investors?
It's often believed that this type of risk only affects you after retirement, because that's where the majority of the cash flows sit in your income plans. In reality, however, it is so that it affects any investment that has cash flow connected to it.
How can investors manage this risk?
First of all, you can try and reduce product volatility as much as possible. Although this is not a fail-safe type of plan, you'll definitely need an additional component in terms of financial planning. To that end, in our area in PSG Wealth specifically, our financial planning philosophy is robust enough to cater for those cash flows both in pre- and post-retirement scenarios.
So navigating the range of risks investors encounter when building wealth can be time-consuming. So have a conversation with your financial advisor on what you can do to reduce the risks associated with sequence of returns.